Hi there, Alec from Vacuum Spot here. Today I'm going to show you a quick video on a DC08 vacuum cleaner. I've had loads of people email me and ask if I could show them how to do a cord retract repair. As it happens, this machine is just going to be tossed out, so I'm not bothering to put a new retract in it, but you will see how to do the job. Alright, anyway, so let's get rid of what we don't need. So our bagless chamber unnecessary. Okay, so let me just think. To make this a little bit neater on the desk. Okay. Alright, so your first step, doing your cord retract, you want to pop open your filter cover. And if you come in here, you'll actually see that you just lever off. There would normally be a filter here, by the way, but in this case it's not. Alright, so this just gets levered off and that filter cover out of the way. Now at this point we've got to take the wheels off. Alright, so just a nice flat blade screwdriver in to about here if you can, and then off. Again. Now we need a number 15 Torx driver. We've got 2 screws over each wheel arch. Okay. I've really got to figure out a way so I don't have to do this backwards and be able to show you at the same time, because it's quite tricky doing all this stuff backwards. Okay, so 4 screws, 2 here, 2 over there, and the other screw on the DC08 is inside here. There we go. So just in there. Okay, now to make this that little bit easier, first step, just pull out, I don't know, a couple of foot of cord, grab hold of the, oh sorry, there's one more screw, look at that. Okay, so screw up in here, okay, so back to it. So we just pull off the whole door. Move that out of the way, and what that does just allows you to get a bit of clear movement here. Now in this case I'm going to be refitting this, but let's say you weren't. You just loosen up your cords here. Okay. Alright, so now let's say we were going to pull this out. The other thing you need to do is release, I don't know what you call this, the little shroud, which is done by this locator here and another one at the top. That'll allow you to get the cord out without cutting it. So it just in and through. So now that comes out, so I could fit a new retract. So old retract out, new retract in, put your cord back through your hole, then this nameless piece goes in. The longer side is on the bottom. You position the top part in and then just squeeze and that goes in. Stand that little bit, move it off to one side. Now we connect our same coloured wires up. Okay, now we're going to sit our switch in nice and neat. Okay, cord gets wrapped around using these natty little cord holders here. And now the good bit that everyone wants to know about. Basically, what I'm going to get you to have a look at is inside the well where the Retract sits, there is 2 grooves and then a recessed component. That's the part that is critical. What you need to do, yeah, go for it, if you want a flashlight on that. Okay, so here we are. This is our little well. That has to line up with our tongue on the Retract. Now, when you're popping this in, you're going to need to line up this circular bit, like an axle, with this part here. I'm getting a really confused look from my cameraman. So, okay, so we're lining up this and that down there. You can see in there, okay? Okay, all right. You know what, I've had an idea. This is video on the fly. So here, all right, look at that. Can we see that? The black lines. Oh my God. There we go. Look, now I'm actually looking in the camera. Look below here. That. Okay, yes, bright smiles. Okay, sorry about that, people. So we put in our tongue in there, and we're just going to move it ever so slightly, and you'll feel it. Sorry, I'm just going to do this facing myself. Okay, you'll actually feel it slip into place. And here, now let's see how we can see how our axle is now nicely into the position. Are you looking at what? Let me just have a look. Yep. Okay, so it's in there nicely. Back with our point. Okay, now, as you're sliding this along, this part, I have to do this facing me. Now, one last little thing. The motor, you've got 2 rubber supports here and here. They have to line up with this gap here, and the same on this side. Yeah? All good. Okay, so motor in, switch in, retract in, okay, now as this goes into rough position, you sit him up like that. And this lid should sit down ever so nicely. If it doesn't sit down pretty easily, it means that something's not quite lined up. And it's normally the motor. You could be able to look at the back and just see that the motor's sitting down. Okay, now this is the problem that my customer or my friend online asked me about. Is this not quite sitting? Okay, and it's almost impossible for me to show you, except that if it doesn't go in, it can't be forced. So that was in there nicely, that's not moving. So I'm just going to tuck my little cords away. Onto rough position, this is going to work just fine. Okay, and you'll see here, our line around the outside is snug. Once you've got it like that, you don't have to hold it up anymore. Screws go back in. I normally start with this middle screw just so that it's not levering off to one side or the other. And then come down to the opposite side. Okay, then come back around to this side. The other one inside here. Back again. It just makes it go together nice and smooth if you alternate. So look, now that it's going back together, I do apologise for possibly being a little bit rambly on this one, but look, it is actually quite simple. Sit everything in nice and smooth, and it just as long as your tongue goes in there, then you'll find that it will sit in. If it doesn't close properly like a clam, something's not quite sitting where it's meant to. So you're better off to just pull the retract out, or the motor out, and then resit it. There we go. Okay, we got there. Another great video, well, sort of good. Handy. Video from Alec at Vacuum Spot.